Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Happy Sunday. Welcome back to FemmeTarot. I'm Natalie, your international psychic medium and energy reader and healer. Hello. How is everyone doing? Okay, I know this is pretty much a rhetorical question because there's just too many bad things, negative things, sad things happening right now. It is the eclipse energy. We are going through eclipse season. We are in between two eclipses. We have the eclipse on the 9th in Pisces, and then we have that was a lunar eclipse, and now what is upcoming is a solar eclipse, partial solar eclipse in Virgo on the 21st of this month. So the energies are crazy. I'm kind of not surprised as to what happened. And you know what I'm talking about? I'm talking the very shocking news about the unaliving, the pew-pewing of Charlie Kirk. And this is what we're going to be talking about today because listen, let me be honest. I didn't know who he was. I didn't know who he was before all this happened. And then when the incident happened, and then I just saw how visceral and guttural and just how everyone was reacting to this, whether it was in a very sad way, mourning for a human being, okay? Because this is regardless what he believed in, regardless what his rhetoric was, regardless if you like him or not, this is a human being and he harmed no one. Okay, he wasn't a world leader. He wasn't a dictator. He wasn't anyone who harmed people. Sure, some of his beliefs and ideologies may have hurt people in the sense of like it went against their own ideologies and beliefs or political uh, beliefs and how they lean. But this was a human being, a husband, a father of two children. And what makes it worse is that all this happened right in front of the eyes of his wife and his children, and I'm sure his parents as well, because if they weren't there at Utah University when this happened, they saw the video, which was circulating for half a day. And it was quite disturbing, I have to say. I did come across it. This was right at the beginning, so I did see it. It was disturbing. And I was debating, okay, I was debating whether I should do this because this is so early. It just happened a few days ago. And as you know, I always allow spirit, and I give spirit time and allow for spirit to settle into their home, back to the spirit world. Just their energies is a lot of times chaotic. And so I just, I just wasn't sure if I wanted to do this, but I am going to do this because I think it is important. There's so many questions that have risen from this, so many theories, conspiracy theories, and so many things, so many. Just what I'm trying to say here is I believe this is a huge thing. It's not only because he lost his life in this terrible, horrible way, but psychically, and these are the psychic insights that I received when all this went down, all this happened, is that it's a turning point. It's a turning point. It's a political turning point, a turning point for humanity. And also, and we'll get to it, we'll do a deep dive. And also, it really feels like this is the peak of the spiritual warfare that we've been talking about here on this channel for a very long time. And we'll get to all of this. We will deep dive. I'm not going to channel Charlie Kirk. But I have, what I have received is I have received messages, and this throughout the day today, and especially just before I came on, because I always give myself time to meditate, go into the zone, connect with my guides, connect to spirit before I come on and do these lives, because just doing these lives, I receive your energy too, the chat's energy, anyone who's watching right now in real time. So sometimes I need to gather my thoughts, gather the energy, meditate, and put myself in the zone in order for me to allow for the messages and the downloads to flow freely during these lives. I'm going to bring up the banner, but we are going to deep dive into this. And how we're going to do this, I'm just going to share with you. First of all, we're going to look at his chart. Second of all, I'm going to share with you what I've written down, which I received from him. It wasn't really channeling, it was just me meditating and connecting to his energy and seeing if I could, what I could get from that. And I did get some things which are interesting. And then I just let him go. Okay. I allowed him to let him go because he's also a little bit confused. He is devastated. He is, I'll get to it when the time comes. I'll get to it in a second. Then after Charlie, I want us to look into his wife, Erica. Yes, I do. I also found her speech and the video that was circulating of her mourning in front of an open casket and kissing his hands. I just found the whole thing, it just felt off. It just felt off. Like my psychic radar, all right, it was just going bing, 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 bing. All the lights were like, bring, 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 red flags, lights on, mayday, mayday. This is what was going on when I saw that. So we will look at that as well. But I want to keep it very respectful. I agree. I did do a little bit of research just to when the pew pew happened, just to find out who this person was. Why was he so divisive? Sorry. Why there was a lot of hatred towards him. A lot of people, are mourning him, and there's a lot of empathy towards him and his family. But there are people, of course, there's always a group of people that were very hateful towards him and very hateful towards his rhetoric, towards his, because he was leaning very much to the not the far right, but he was very ultra conservative, I want to say. So let's be respectful. There is a soul that has exited Earth and has returned back home. And to me, he didn't deserve this. Okay, he didn't deserve this. And I did read a little bit about him, and I did a little bit of background. And I have to say, I don't agree with most of the things that he said, but that doesn't mean that I find him a bad person. Actually, tuning into his energy, I think he was a good person. He was a good person. I do. I didn't pick up any hatred. I didn't pick up, sure, he had certain beliefs that might be against ours or some of ours, or you are very much aligned to his beliefs and his, I don't know how to say it, like his opinions, okay, and ideologies. That's fine. Okay, that's perfectly fine. But let's keep it respectful. I don't want any hate towards him or his family. I know this community is not. Chat, you're not, I'm not talking to you. But of course, people, outsiders, if you will, outside of this community are going to watch this video. And of course, they're going to come in with their own opinions, whether they're good or bad. I just want to say, let's keep this very respectful. I will be deleting any comments, okay, that anyone leaves down below that promotes hatred, okay, hatred or just any agenda. Okay, I just want to make that clear. But it is devastating, and I want to bring up a lot of things that I got, and then I will give you. I promised you last year, last week. I promised you that I will share with you some of a couple of downloads that I received while I was on my summer break, and I will share them. And one of them is a little bit connected to what happened. Also, before we start, Okay. Hold on. Let me bring up all this stuff here. So if you're not following me on social media, please do so. You can follow me on Instagram. You can follow me on TikTok. And also that here you will find my website if you want to book a reading with me, if you want to buy crystals, everything is on my website. So check it out. Check it out. And then, of course, just a reminder for anyone who's new here and you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing to the channel. You're not going to regret it. We also have the most beautiful, most soulful community on YouTube. So you're going to be part of the Femme Village, and the Femme Village is growing. The aim is to create a Femme Nation of like-minded, soulful people. All right, so before we start, as per usual, as we wait for people to enter the chat, I'm just going to say a quick hello to the chat, to the Femme Villages who are here today. I hope everyone is doing well. He is at peace, Gail. Yes, he is. I will get to that in a minute. He's very much at peace, but about everything except one thing I will share. Thank you, Gail. That's very nice of you. Happy Sunday. Yes, I hadn't heard of him either. I also found out that he was very close to Candace Owens. She's devastated. Of course she would be. Of course she would be. So yeah, but I have to say that the energy that I pick up with him, even just before I came on, when I was meditating, was like, I liked his energy. Okay. His energy. It was a decent, good human being. So no one deserves this. No one deserves this. Okay. Doesn't mean I can't be offended, upset about the things he said. Yes, absolutely. You can absolutely be offended and oppose what he said in the past, but we do not celebrate what happened to him. No one should. Okay. But that's the thing about him. This is what I respect about Charlie Kirk, is that he went around to all these universities and colleges and he was open to debates and discussions. And that I appreciate. And I did watch several videos of these debates and discussions on university campuses, and he was respectful. He was respectful to people, even like liberals, progressives, anyone who would challenge him a bit, even a little bit or a lot. He was respectful. We have to say that. Yeah, I mean, maybe he'll jump on. Campfire knows I'm doing this video, and as you know, if he's got time, Sunday's his day off. So if he has time and he's not doing Pilates or all the stuff that he's doing, he'll jump on. So who knows? He might jump on. I know what you mean. We're all drained. We're all absolutely drained with this. Books was released like a little bit more than an hour before that happened. Yes, Stephanie, I saw that, I heard that, but from what I understand is that you can actually adjust the date on Amazon. So I saw this somewhere. I don't know if this is factual, if this is correct, but understandably so, people are just going down a conspiracy theory, and I'm using quotes for that, rabbit hole. I don't intuitively feel anything about that, about the book, that it's a breadcrumb or a glitch, the Matrix, or anything like that. But I can throw the cards later about the book if you want, just to see if there's anything to it. Let's see. I'm missing a lot of your comments, and I apologize in advance for that. Hello, Lulu. Good afternoon to you too. Love and light. Yes, Brina, thank you very much. Yeah, if you want to book with me, just so you know, I'm booked out through November, but if you want a reading, you should book now. so I can squeeze you in and find a slot for you towards the end of November. I still have slots in December. So if you want your year ahead readings, or you want a mediumship readings, a reading or a past life, whatever reading you want, you'll find everything on my website, which is here. Let me just do all this and get it out of the way, and then we'll start. This is my website. This is how you book readings with me, and this is how you'll find information about me, information about what I do, what I offer, my crystal shop, everything. Mind you, crystal shop right now, it's a little bit, I bring it up, but it's on pause because I'm changing things around, and I'm bringing in some really cute, nice, bespoke jewelry with crystals. So more about that as soon as I'm ready with that, to do a soft relaunch, if you will, of my crystal shop. Thank you, Gail. Thank you for following me everywhere. I do highly recommend that you follow me everywhere. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, perfect. But Sandy says, I always look forward to Sundays with Femme. This is our hangout. This is our Femme Village hangout. I look forward to this as well, you guys. No matter what, I always leave Sunday evenings, because it's evening here where I am, free, so I can spend it with you. All right. Shall we get to it? Because we have a lot. We have a lot to talk about today. So I do have my notes here, what I wrote just before I came on. I do want to bring up his chart real quick, just to see, because this way you'll understand. This is the only, where am I? You can't see me. There you go. This is the only chart that I could find online that I felt was the most accurate. There are several floating around. I found this on Reddit, and I have to say on an astro site or astro subreddit, and I believe this is accurate or close to accurate. Okay, you can't see me. Sorry, you can't see me. Don't know how to move this thing. There you go. But it doesn't matter. You don't need to see me. You're going to be watching me for the next couple of hours, I guess. So Charlie Kirk was a Libra. He was 31 years old. He was a Libra sun, a Libra moon. He had an ascendant. You can see them here. It's really small. You can't really see it. I had to write on a piece of paper because I can't really see that far toward on can't see my screen. Mars in Scorpio. And also, I believe Erica Kirk, his wife, is a Scorpio, which I found extremely fascinating because he has Mars and Mercury in Scorpio and Pluto in Scorpio. Extremely interesting. Uranus in Leo, not surprised Uranus is in Leo. His Mars in Scorpio is very much opposing Uranus right now. So the transits are very, very harsh, or have been very harsh for him right now. It's also eclipse season. Eclipse season, or generally eclipses, do traditionally in astrology, they do majorly affect usually people of power, royalty, public figures, the military, anything that has to do with the military, or just generally nations, so I'm not surprised. And then when I saw that his Uranus is in Leo, I'm not surprised that his unaliving happened so publicly as well. But he's got Libra, very charming, ruled by Venus, very charming man. He was good with his words. He was good. He was charming, which is why he was very, very popular public speaker as well. This came second nature for Charlie. But with this Mars, Mercury, and Pluto in Scorpio, ouch. Listen, he came into this world and chose the life and the path that he did this time around, because there is so much karmic debt that he is carrying with him that he needed to clear at least some of it. And before anyone asks if he managed to or not, this unaliving, the way he exited, was part of his life plan. All right, his life plan, his soul's plan here on Earth. So it was all pre-planned. It had to happen the way that it did, because now what we are going to see this pew-pewing is creating a snowball effect, not only for politics, but also when it comes to social, how can I say this, social dynamics, social affairs as well. And we're going to see this, all of this is going to boil over now. Everything that's been brewing, everything that's bubbling beneath the surface, right? It's going to boil over now. And we're going to be seeing it. And I feel it's going to be triggered, especially with this upcoming partial solar eclipse that's coming up on the 21st of September. Now, let me share with you. Yes, this is what I'm trying to say, that this was his destiny. He had to sacrifice himself in order to clear some of the karmic debt that he was carrying with him. His wife plays a big key role in all of this. I'll get to this when we talk about Erica, but I do want to get to what I got, okay, from him. Okay, so I've written down, he had a mission. He had a mission in this life, all right? And so did Erica, but her mission was very, very different to his. This is where the interesting part is. And that's why I want to read Erica live with you guys. I'm going to read her together. Again, I'm going to be very respectful how I read. She is mourning. She is a mother of 2 children, and she is currently a single mother with 2 children. Yes, I know the irony, because he spoke against single mothers, but it is as it is right now. So, but I heard and I saw that Erica has a very different mission in this life. By the way, I'm not going to share this now. I'm going to share it when I talk about Erica. I'm not going to share it right now. Let's stick to Charlie. I'm still open. So I'm still open to see if I get anything else in the meantime. So if you see me pausing or close my eyes, just so you know, it's because I'm receiving and I'm listening and paying attention to what I'm receiving. So the other thing that I got is that both he and his wife, but I will just focus on him. He knew that something bad was going to happen. He had a bad feeling. And I kept all day, I kept hearing June, the month of June, right? The month of June, I believe something went down. And that's when Charlie started really realizing that not only he was in danger, but there are some big, bad games that are being played, okay? And that this would affect him. I don't think, even though I believe, and he did speak, he did say something, I forget the quote, but he did say something about empathy, that empathy doesn't exist, or empathy is not a feeling it's a valid feeling, or something along those lines. But he was someone, believe it or not, who was quite intuitive, and he did have empathy. Maybe he didn't know that was empathy, or he was trying to like push that feeling away, that emotion away. But let me just tell you, he did have empathy. He was able to, if he wanted to, he was able to tune into other people's feelings and energies and pick up their feelings. Therefore, he did have empathy, and he was quite intuitive as well. So he did have a feeling, and actually I'm getting that he did discuss this with his wife, that there were conversations around this. Something happened in June, whether it was intel that they received or something. I wasn't shown that. I don't know what that is, but that's when they realize that things are getting very, very serious around them and for them. He also knew that he was a target, but what kind of target? Political target. I heard the word target, and when I asked for clarification around target, was that, did he get some kind of intel that he was a target to be pew-pewed? What was it? But I feel the word target was more, it's more broad. It's more like a target, political target, or, targeting against him, whether it was politically via social media, targeting his podcast. This is what he thought, okay, that he would be targeted in that way, but not in the way that would take away his life. I'm giving you all the stuff that I got in order. So the other thing, as soon as I heard that about him being a target, boom, I saw the sun card in tarot. And I'm like, oh, okay. So the sun card in tarot means several things. It's revelations, it is clarity, it means literal the sun, like S-O-N, like the boy, a boy's son. It also means that there is light at the end of the tunnel. It's just a very, very positive and very powerful card. It can also represent the dad as well. The moon card represents the mom. The sun card represents the dad. And when I saw the sun card, the tarot card, I was like, oh, okay. So I was asking myself, because I did see rumors, theories, some psychics saying that they feel that she is pregnant. Erica is pregnant. And instantly when I saw that, I was like, oh, because a lot of times I get that card when I throw cards and someone is pregnant, or they might not even know it yet. But what I get is, I will get the sun card, for instance. The Ace of Swords is another card that indicates pregnancy. There's several cards that indicate pregnancy. Of course, it has to do with what you get, because as you know, I don't read tarot in the traditional sense. I just use them sort of like as a supplementary to my own gifts. But here's the thing, I want to show you this. So when I saw that, I got out of my meditation and I'm like, okay, let me just pull some cards, because I wasn't picking that up. And for all of those of you who have gotten readings with me and I have predicted pregnancy, babies, baby genders, and all that, you know how accurate I am when it comes to that. At least that I'm very proud to say that I am your fairy godmother. I'm your Femme fairy godmother. And I always joke that I should have one of those walls. You know how OBGYNs have these like walls, the reception with a collage of all the pictures of all the babies that they delivered. Well, I need one, okay, for all the babies that I've predicted, because I feel like the fairy godmother. But I digress. So I said, I'm going to pull my cards. I have the two cards that I pulled in front of me. Okay, here's my deck. And then here are the cards that I pulled. And I asked, is Erica pregnant? Is she having a boy? Specifically. So let me share with you what I got. Four of Wands, that was the first card. And I'm like, oh, celebration. This is a good card. It's not typically my pregnancy card, but it is if you do a yes or no reading, this is a yes card. And then I'm like, okay, I'm not convinced. I'm not, I just want something else. And as soon as I grabbed my deck, boom, card flew out. Just as I was doing this movement, card flew out. Three of Cups. 3 children. Cups, emotions. She's holding it right in front of her belly. This, to me, instantly, when I saw the 3 of Cups, I'm like, ooh, that's the announcement. So apparently it's been going around that they said that they were the Kirks, we're going to come out with an announcement, I believe, on the 16th of this month. And people were speculating, does this have to do with her like clothing line? I didn't know she had a clothing line, but I didn't even know who she was before all this. But, and other people were assuming pregnancy. And I don't want to jump on any train without me, myself, having received anything, any message, or haven't seen it as a vision or a download. And because I hadn't or I haven't, this is my validation, everybody. She is pregnant and I'm getting a boy. I'm getting a baby boy. And I want to talk about a little bit about one of his children. I'll just get to that because I'm taking this in order. Okay. So I've written here, he's devastated. And this is exactly what is, even though he's at peace over in the spirit world, he is devastated that this was witnessed by his children and his wife, but mostly by his children. He is a bit jittery, I want to say. His energy is a little bit all over the place. Mind you, it's only been a few days. And the other thing that I got was that when the bullet went through, he instantly lost consciousness, but his hearing, because I started hearing sounds, very muffled sounds, and I was just not sure where that was coming from. And then I realized I was hearing what he was hearing, and very muffled. I couldn't distinguish like what was said. But even though he appears unconscious, unalived, he wasn't. So he wasn't alive straight away. I feel it just took a few minutes, maybe very few minutes, but he was still hearing what was happening around him. And then eventually when he did cross over, he was very, very confused. So he kept coming back. And he wasn't at peace for the first 24 hours. I also want to say that speech, I don't know, that, what was it? Like a media conference? I don't know exactly what it was, where she was at his podcast studio and she had like a whole thing, like a microphone. I want to say that I saw a clip of that, and I saw Charlie sitting on his chair. He was there. I saw him, like he was there by her, and she could feel it. Erica could feel it. Now, I started asking questions because I felt that I was connecting to him, not exactly to him to channel, but in the periphery, the peripheral energy, if you will. And I started asking questions. And one of my questions was, who does he suspect? Did he have enemies? What was behind it? And also, what can he tell me about Erica? Because right now she's getting a lot of flack online. I want to tell you that he is very protective of his wife. Very. As soon as I mentioned Erica, her name, I just felt boom, like an energy which just held me back. Like there was like a block, like don't dare talk about her. That's exactly the energy I felt. I was like, ooh, okay. All right, I respect that, but I still have questions. So I started tuning into Erica's energy, and I will do this live. Okay, I've done my protection rituals, all of it. And he blocked me from doing that too. Which is interesting. We'll get to that. I saw that his son, now which one? Because if she's pregnant and I believe that she's having a boy, which son, I don't know. But what I was shown is that his son, Charlie's and Erica's son, will become quite the activist and political influencer in the future. He's going to take an active role, and he's going to carry his dad's charm, his dad's way with words. he's going to be someone who's going to be in the limelight for very much political activism and influencing as well. Because this incident is really going to trigger this. Now he's a very young boy, but this boy, when I see him even like from a young age, he's going to start getting involved with politics, and he's going to have backup. And I'm not talking about his mom. I'm talking about political figures. Political figures are going to embrace this boy. I'm a little bit worried because I do see this boy in the future being surrounded by very shady people. And as we know, most politicians, I'm not going to say all of them, but the majority are shady people. What else ever? Muffled sounds after them being shot. Okay, let's talk about what I saw, okay, happened. I saw someone, and then I'll tell you what I feel happened. So I saw someone in the crowd. I think we just had an earthquake. I think we just had a small earthquake. The eclipses, by the way, do trigger earthquakes, and we've been having quite a few earthquakes. They're not big earthquakes, but we have them. We have a lot of them lately, this past week, and we just had one now. Anyways, I'll keep going. So someone in the crowd, I was shown, is wearing a white t-shirt and was wearing a hat, but removed the hat at some point. That man seems to be tall, because he seemed to be taller than some of the people around him. This man, a white t-shirt, there is some kind of like lettering, something written, but I couldn't tell what it was. I couldn't see it. And this has to do with, and we'll talk about Tyler Robinson as well. But because I'm not all convinced that, yeah, we'll get to that. There's a lot of propaganda and a lot of PR manipulation, social media manipulation happening right now. But when it comes to this man, I felt that this man played a key role in what happened. And then when I asked about Tyler Robinson, I got that he didn't do this alone. And then I put two and together, and I'm like, oh, so this guy with a white t-shirt, is he connected to Tyler Robinson in any way? Are they in it together? Was one acting as a decoy and the other one was the actual shooter? And then I got yes. I heard yes. I also feel there's a third person, but I don't feel that third person was at the scene, or at least not in the crowd. So what I'm trying to tell you, I'm trying to make sense of this, you guys, just as much as you are. But the footage that we saw of supposedly Tyler being on the roof and acting as a sniper, which to me, I'm not buying that a young 20-something-year-old, maybe they had guns in the house. I heard that his family were Republicans. Okay, fine. But still, you need to have military grade skills to be able to pew from that distance and be successful. Okay, and be successful, because they were aiming for the head, it seems, and they were successful. Yeah, okay, did the job, right? So I'm just telling you that if Tyler was the one who was on that rooftop, was a decoy and the fall guy. The white t-shirt guy who had the hat and removed it, to me, is the one. I cannot be sure, but the way it was shown to me, this is how it was shown to me. I also wrote down what I heard, which was all this would lead to uprisings, demonstrations, and extreme division. Extreme division. So if you thought things were bad, things are going to get worse now. And I want to go back to the spiritual warfare. This was not only the silencing of Charlie Kirk and his ideologies and beliefs, but this was also a shot against faith, against Christianity. And I'm trying to lead you here. Okay, I'm trying to lead you because Tyler Robinson, what were his motives? I don't believe anything that is circulating right now on social media or mainstream media. Don't believe anything. I don't care. Was he dating a trans man? Who cares? I mean, obviously people care, but I mean, this is this was a very well thought of plan. Tyler did not do this on his own. I really feel this young man was brainwashed. I wouldn't go past being MK ultra'd because this is what I was getting when I was connecting. Okay. And I'm also getting that there are higher powers, meaning other nations, foreigners who wanted this to happen. I don't know if they were behind it. They said, they gave the green light. Go ahead, do this. I don't know, so I'm not gonna, try to speculate. But what I do know from what I was shown psychically, again, this is a psychic tarot reading. Everything's alleged. Nothing is based on fact. These are my opinions. But what I am getting is that this is something that is benefiting someone outside the US, a nation, a religion outside the US, because they want to bring turmoil, civil war energy. I'm using air quotes because it's not war, but it feels like war. And silence people, silence our faith, our beliefs, our opinions. This was a very, very stark message to all of us, anyone who was affected by this. The other thing that I did get from Charlie is that they will put up some kind of memorial at Utah University. So there is going to be some kind of vigil. There is going to be a memorial. They're going to put up a plaque or something. And Utah University is going to become eventually a hub when it comes to, they're really going to start promoting like free speech, democracy, things like that. This is the direction that they're going to go with it. I also do believe that the funeral it's going to be a big thing. Okay, because I do see Trump, I see the military there, so it's going to be a funeral of the highest of honors, if you will. So he's going to be honored a lot. I don't know why I see like how I see it is like it's like when you have like a war hero, and they come back and they bring back the war hero, the war hero's body, and then they do these like very elaborate military funerals. I see medals, I see the flag, the folded flag, I see all of that. Okay, so this is the type of send off he's going to have. Let me see what else. The other thing I forgot to mention, and I heard it now again, is that no surprise. I kept hearing no surprise, no surprise. And I could hear it in Charlie's voice. No surprise. I was like, what does he mean by that? No surprise that this is the way, this is what he showed me. No surprise as to the way he exited, the way it all happened. Even the date is significant, I heard. So the date, the numbers, the numerology behind it. Didn't have time because I did this right before we came on, so I didn't have time to check the numerology, but I will do it, or anyone is very welcome just to add the numbers together and just tell me what the number is. So yeah, I know, but that's the interesting part. He's going to get all of the honors and all of it. I know. He was just I initially thought he was a politician, because like the way people were reacting to it and the way like it circulated in the mainstream media, I was like, who, like I've never heard of this guy. Like, who is this guy? And then I realized who he was. I realized like I learned who he was. So, and then I thought it was weird, but now it's starting to make sense, because this guy was came onto this earth for this very reason. This very reason. He came in, he is leaving a legacy behind. And I'm going to bring in like, I'm going to correlate it. And I know this is a bit random, but this is what I heard. Tupac. Like very similar. Tupac was very much a prophet. He was a poet. He was very ahead of his times, very spiritual as well, very ascended. I've done a whole reading on this. I have channeled Biggie and Tupac. So if you want to check out those readings, you'll find them on my channel. But I see like a similar kind of like correlation destination with both of them. So because they both were taken out at a young age, just as their careers were getting somewhere, they were picking up momentum, and they picking up a following as well, like a very, very powerful. And that's another reason why some people, some bad people, some people with very evil agendas don't want people like that, whether it is Charlie, whether it is whoever, whoever has influence outside of their political party, because yes, he had political beliefs, but he wasn't a politician. They want, because they gained so much power, because they are people for the masses, right? They know how to talk to the masses, and they know how to put out that their voice is being heard. And these are the people that they want to silence. And we're going to see it more and more and more and more. 19, 1 plus, okay, so 19, 1 plus 9 is 10. 1 ends up to 1. 1 is the master number, the most powerful number, which is why we talk about 111, and 111 is associated with angel numbers and angels, etc. So this was it. He had a mission, he fulfilled his mission, and now what's left behind is going to be crazy. It's going to be very intense. It's about to get, and I'm not talking about next month, next week, it's going to get super, super intense, very intense. I'm not talking about politics. I'm not talking about Tupac's or Charlie's politics. I'm talking about their essence, their energy, their footprint, what kind of footprint they left behind on earth. Nothing to do with left or right or center. That's not what I'm referring to. That's not what I mean. Yeah, but it's like the beef between the East and the West and all that, but nothing to do with left and right. Funny you say that. Funny. Well, it's not funny, but actually, I'm glad you're asking that question, Stephanie, because when I was watching those videos, just to understand who he was, what he was believing, just to get to know Charlie a little bit, I believe that a lot of these opinions and ideologies were ingrained in him, but not that he wasn't necessarily, like, how can I say this differently? I believe that if politics changed or if the world around us changed, I also believe that eventually Charlie might have, like, leaned a little bit more, less so right, and a little bit more centrist. I do believe that because of his faith, a lot of the things that he believed were ingrained in him. It was just like, it was like programmed in him, but not it's I believe that he was open-minded enough. These are my beliefs as I read him and read his energy, okay? So don't go after me. I'm just saying I do believe that he was open-minded. He could be open-minded enough to maybe change a little bit the way he viewed things, if that makes sense. Yeah, that's what I also uh, found out, that he was very respected in the conservative world. So yeah, yeah, this was by whom, and this was a warning by whom and by whom. All I, you guys, I'm giving you what I got. I believe that, think Epstein, and again, I don't believe in coincidence. We've been talking about the Epstein, can't talk. Epstein list. Say that fast, like 10 times. For months now. And we're playing this like hide and seek, or Trump is playing this hide and seek, or the Republicans, or whatever you want. All of them, they're all playing games with us. And it's interesting that it's all happening now. And I'm not saying that they did this as a distraction. The Republicans or the Democrats or whoever did this for a distract. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying Epstein had very, if you haven't watched that reading about Epstein, yes, I'm plugging all my readings and my videos. I have to do this once in a while, but you have to go watch that reading, that channeling that I did on Epstein. So it's really interesting, because what I saw was his connections to Mossad, to Russia, to the Arabs. So there are a lot. So what I'm saying with this, and there is sort of a correlation here, is like, let's look towards the people that, or the nations that the Epstein, oh my God, I cannot say it. You know what I'm talking, the list would uncover if it fully went out in public. I'll be looking that direction, whether it's Mossad, whether it's Hamas. I don't get the Russians. Think about, yeah, but that's the direction I'm going with this. That's the direction, but I have to be careful what I say and how I say it. So yeah. CO said he had big donors upset with him not conforming. Who's CO? Sorry, I'm missing who CO is. It's as if they are saying, look over here, not over here. I mean, that's they've always done that. Will the US have no peace, or at least the feeling? Yes, things are going to get better. Eventually, things are going to get better. But before things get better in the US, things have to hit a low, very low, so you can start cleaning the gunk, so you can start getting rid of the garbage. In order for you to start, it's just like, think about renovating a home. Before you start the fun part, which is the renovation and adding new furniture and new tiles and new flooring and all that, you've got to gut everything out, and it's a mess. It's exhausting, it's stressful, it's a mess. Same thing goes for the US. You're just gutting right now. You're removing all the gunk, and it's going to take a long time. I believe a couple of years before you start, seeing light again in the country, and where everything's going to fall into a peaceful place. Oh, Candace owns CEO. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. Said he had big donors upset with him for not conforming. Who were the donors? Does she know? We would like to know. Who were they? Who? That's interesting. Is Candace outing the Republicans? I'm not sure. Listen, I know Candace is very divisive as well, but I have to say this. It seems that Candace is starting now to start leaning a little more like she's leaving like the right, and she's kind of like leaning towards truth, which is where we should all be at. Okay. And I think that there's so many things that Candace is starting to understand now. I feel she's going through some kind of spiritual awakening. Candace is not going to be the same Candace in a couple of years, let me tell you. She's not. I see her changing. I see her growth, spiritual growth overall. So let's see. Tucker Carlson said he had information that he showed him, but he didn't want to say. They're all covering for people. He said a lot of calling out that one leader for lying by omission. I feel like she said a lot by calling out that one leader for lying by omission of some letter. Wow. Was at odds with them over Israel, I think. Am I right? I don't know. Were they? I have no idea if they were. So I don't know if you. That's all I get with Charlie, and so I do believe that there were 3 people involved. 2 were active in the pew-pewing. I will read Tyler Robert. I'll get to Eric, and then we'll do Tyler. I don't think, yes, I do believe that Tyler did it, but I don't believe he was a mastermind, crazy. He was ashamed of his relationship with trans I just feel that this young man was just MK Ultra'd. I believe that he just got involved with people who really mind controlled him. I do. I seriously do. So it's interesting because otherwise, why would he confess to his father? If this was like a well-laid plan, he really wanted to do this. His motivation was the fact that why would he confess? Like there's a reason to all this. The fall guy. Yeah, I believe he was the fall guy. Same as I've said this before, Luigi Mangione. Done several readings on Luigi, another fall guy. I don't care what people say. I'm a psychic. I read energies. I see the future. I get psychic insights. This is what I get. This is what I get. All right. With Erica, shall we move to Erica? Because I know there are a lot of questions. Please drop questions. Add a capital Q in front of your question, please. By the way, is the teching? Can you hear me? Can you see me all right? Hopefully. Yes. Where are you, Stephanie? Sorry, I missed your question. So yes, I've been talking about this for several years now, that there's going to be a back to Jesus. I talked about this towards the end of 2023, where I said I'm being shown that we're all having a back to Jesus moment. A lot of people who moved away from their faith or their religion will reconnect to their faith or a different faith, or they'll become super spiritual or go to spiritualist churches. We're going to see people and groups and communities being formed around religion, religious beliefs, faith, spiritualism, and all this is really speeding what happened now because of the spiritual war. It's speeding that up. It's speeding that up. So we're going to see it more and more and more. And yes, we're going to be seeing more people going to church on Sunday, or people just saying, listen, I don't believe in God, Allah, a Buddha, whoever. I just believe in this one divine source, which is what I believe. Okay, this is my belief, that we all part of this divine source. We are light that come from that divine source, but other people see it differently. But we will all be a lot more accepting of each other's views on this and perceptions on this and beliefs in this. So yes, this is actually a positive change that is leading to a positive change. Let me see. I hope I didn't miss questions. Hold on. Stephanie has another question. I'm trying to go in according to order, just so you know. Is this event going to change religion? Oh, no. Yes. Just answer that. Let's see. Okay. Thanks, Elle, for the tech checking. See, 2.9 earthquake. I told you. I feel evil, the smallest little damn earthquake. I feel it. And I'm the crazy one who's like, did you feel the earthquake? And everyone's like, no. And I'm like, there was an earthquake. There you go. Thank Moipan. Thank you. There you go. I'm not crazy. There were two, actually, because I felt the second one. I just ignored it. Awesome. Tech is teaching. Or teching. Okay. Did the two men behind Kirk doing hand signals and hat signals to the shooter? Let me ask. If I don't get it, I'll pull a card. I do see there is a man that I believe I saw in one of the videos, or maybe the video of, the pew-pewing. There is a guy with sunglasses, with shades, tall guy behind him wearing a suit or a jacket. No, he's not. My guys are saying he's security. He's not involved. This guy was not giving any hand signals to anyone. Like, he acts weird, but it's not. What I mean, he doesn't give hand signals, not signaling the shooter, now's your time. So that's a no with him. Okay, for the sleuths, I've got some homework for you. Because listen to what I heard and I was shown. The guy with a white t-shirt, the one that was wearing a hat, removed the hat with lettering. I believe the lettering is, I can't really, either blue or green. Okay. They said that if we go through the footage or some of the footage, and I believe there's more footage is going to come out in the next few days, not just the ones that's circulating right now, we would be able to find him. He's there. He's in the crowd. He's in the crowd. The second guy. So there's three. I see three. There's Tyler, who's the fall guy. There's the guy with the white t-shirt that I believe he's the one who signaled or gave the okay, or maybe even he was the one who pew-pewed. And the FBI and the CIA are not going to come out and give us all the details. There are more than one bullets. I'm just saying it. You heard it here first. I'm just saying it here now. There's one that this is not just one that went through, Charlie. There's another one. And I believe it's because Tyler pew-pewed one, missed, or didn't. I don't know. It feels like it missed. And that was the diversion or the distraction. And then the white t-shirt guy is the one. This is what I'm getting. Wait, where are your questions? Will Trump be the president his whole term? I think you mentioned you saw it didn't look good for him. Yes, I'll get to that. I'll get to those predictions towards the end. It involves that. I'll get to that. Let me just highlight your question so I don't forget. Yes, that's pretty much the guy behind him was like signaling, but he wasn't part of, he wasn't signaling the shooter. That's not what I'm getting at all. Oh, the tall guy was the same guy that guarded Trump at Butler? Really? Interesting. Huh. Will the baby Erica is pregnant with become the reincarnated version of JFK? No, I'm not. I'm not getting that. I'm not getting that. I believe it's the son that he has already, the 1-year-old, 2-year-old, the toddler that he has, is the one that I'm seeing is going to have this future. Who are the guys behind your notes and media? Everyone's asking that. There was something truly off. Hi, Darlene. Yeah, as I mentioned, the guys, but like, so the one guy behind him, the one with the shades, security, I don't feel this is anyone bad or he was in on it. I don't see that. Yes, sure. I saw the video. So, yes, sure. Some people were acting, but again, my guides and Charlie are showing me the white t-shirt guy who is in front of him, not behind him. So he's somewhere in the crowd in front of him, not on the building, not on the roof, in front of, because I see straight ahead, like in the crowd. So regarding Erica, give me a second. She knew. She knew. I'm going to share with you my own personal opinion. First of all, my own personal opinion was, and I hate to say this about a widow and someone who is allegedly mourning, but it seemed very theatrical, very disingenuous. Anyone who's an empath would be able to detect and pick up whether it was genuine or not. And let me tell you, to me, it felt disingenuous. And what do I mean with it? It feels like it was all like it was a show, and it was a badly made show as well. And when I saw that, I was like, oh God, don't tell me. Like, was she a plant? Was she a plant? And unfortunately, it feels like she was. Unfortunately, it feels like she was a plant in his life. Why do I say this? Because even Charlie, he wouldn't admit it. He was blocking me every time. Even now, I have a hard time. I feel super lightheaded because all of this energy is on me because they don't want me to say what I'm about to say. I will say it as best as I can. It's all alleged. It's all in my opinion. It's what I'm picking up based on my psychic insights. I feel that she knew. She knew this was coming. I'm really sorry for saying this. She knew this was coming. How did she know? I don't know how she knew, whether someone told her, but I'll tell you two things oh God, my head's killing me. But I'll tell you two things. I heard she's a plant, and she knew. She knew this was going to happen. I don't know if she knew this was going to happen on the day that it happened, or she knew that this was going to happen overall, but she didn't know the details or when or what. And I'm also getting that financially, she'll be more than okay. Take this information as you will. Okay, this is what I'm getting, and I'm being punished for it because I have a headache now. Yeah. Everyone's saying, yeah, I felt like, I don't know how you saw it. I mean, replay crew as well. Let me know. How did that video make you feel? Like, not only the one where she's in this podcast room with a podium, she had a podium. I found it weird. I found it weird. And she was wearing white, but fine. Listen, I respect that I hate this, like, you have to wear black when you're mourning. You wear whatever you want when you're mourning because you don't need to show the world that you're mourning. You do it anyway from the moment, like, you don't stop mourning when you lose a loved one. You're constantly in a state of mourning and grief and bereavement, but you don't need to wear black just to show the whole world, I'm a widow, I'm this. So I'm okay with that. Like her wearing a white, she was wearing black shirt, like a white uh, pantsuit, fine fine. But I just found like white, like the white, like the whole setup was weird. And then the video of her talking and whispering and kissing his hands and holding a camera while she's doing that. I just find all of this so odd. And I'm super open minded. I'm a super open minded person. I just found it so odd. And it makes sense now when I'm hearing she's a plant, she knew, and financially she'll be more than okay. You can connect the dots here. You can connect the dots. Who planted her there? Why? And by the way, I want to say this. She will get married again. And this is going to enrage people because it's going to happen quite fast. I mean, it's not going to happen next month. And I'm not saying that she was cheating or anything. There is no other man. There's nothing, anything. But I'm just saying that in a couple of years' time, 2 or 3 years' time, when she gets remarried to another guy who is politically affiliated somehow with the same kind of people she is, don't be surprised. That's when everything is going to start making sense. That's when all the dots are going to be connected. Was she happy that marriage? Out of respect, because she's it's a very good question, but out of respect to her family, him, I'm not going to answer this right now. I will answer it some other time. Let's wait. Why is Charlie or someone else blocking you from seeing and saying things about her? It's Charlie. Why doesn't he want to see the truth? It's not the right time. It's all about timing. And he is protecting her. He is protecting her. And I see this a lot. For those of you who've had mediumship readings with me, you will know that sometimes you have like a family member, an ancestor, someone who comes through and blocks others from talking. Or sometimes, and I've had this with victims of abuse and people who've been through trauma where their abuser, for instance, who has passed on, and sometimes will come in and block me from getting information, connecting to them and getting things. Spirit can do that. They can do that. And they don't, and it's okay for them to do that. It's perfectly fine in the spirit world because it means there are things that the world is not ready to receive right now. I'm a messenger. I'm not the one. And sometimes I go digging. You guys know, like if I'm someone who I don't take no for an answer. All right. Even with spirit, when I work with spirit. And sometimes when I feel like they're blocked, I'll go digging. This is not good for me. I should be protecting me because then I feel sick for a couple of days or I get migraines or I'm exhausted. You hear me a lot saying I'm tired. Energy work does that for you. But let me just tell you, I'm just a messenger. I receive what the information, the messages that I'm supposed to share. If the time now is not right, or there are things that are happening and changing around, I'm being blocked from seeing it and talking about it. So that's why we will revisit this. Okay. Because I wouldn't normally do this. I always give people time, like souls time. I have to respect them too, because they're also adjusting there. They're also back and forth because they're also worried about their loved ones. So, but this is an exception because this is huge. This is huge because this is creating a huge snowball effect right now. And people want answers, and I get it, but these are the answers. This is what I get. This is what I'm sharing. I'm sharing with you everything that I get. So that's why I'm being blocked. No, no, he doesn't believe that. He knows because this information that I'm sharing with you, I got it from him, not directly, but he opened up enough for me to see these things and for me to connect to his energy and grab this information. So he knows. Yes. Rena, I just want to say the other side of all of it. I went out like this. I would not allow psychics probing my spouse's energy either. It's invasive. It's invasive, but he was a public figure. And on the other hand, I agree, it can be invasive, but I'm not airing their dirty laundry. I'm not. I just shut down a question asking, did she love him? I'm not airing. I'm just trying to answer some of the questions that we all collectively have. Why did this happen? Why did this happen to him? The only thing I said about Erica is I feel that it's generous. So I'm not being invasive, and I'm very much of an ethical psychic medium. Hold on. Did she apply to work for him, or to date him? Well, if I hear the word that she's a plant, it all seems like it was planned. It was planned. He, like, what I'm getting is like he really fell in love with, like, her. Listen, double Libra, he loved anything beautiful. It was all about the aesthetics. There was this beautiful blonde, blue-eyed I believe she was ex Miss USA. No, anyways, model. All right, there, smiling at him, extremely intelligent. She was able to carry a conversation and debates with him. I mean, he fell for her. They knew, whoever planted her in his life knew that he was going to fall for her, that she was his type. Charlie still believe in president. Oh, yes, yes. I got this before when I was meditating that yes, he does. He does. He respects Trump and likes Trump, and not 100. What I got is that he didn't always 100% agreed with DT, but yeah, even now I feel like, yeah. Jada says another psychic said she will marry again. Yeah, that because it came through when I was connecting to Charlie. You know, in the beginning, you saw me. I was about to say something about Eric, and I'm like, no, I'm going to share it with you when we talk about her, when we start reading her. It just came boom to me, like, whoa. Yes, it is normal for public figures to get read, but ethical readers will read up to a point. They're not gonna bring up things that are deep, dark secrets unless it has to do with some kind of passing or some kind of event, unless someone's passing or life or things that they did is really part of a chain of events that's about to happen, then yes, we do get this information, we do connect. But I want to say that, as again, ethical psychic mediums, we will get, the spirit will give us messages and insights and visions and downloads up to a point. If there's information or messages that are not supposed to be public or be out in the public, we're not going to receive it. And if we do, it's up to us what we do with that information, whether we're going to share it or not. So that's why it's important to always follow ethical psychic mediums. She was former Miss America. Okay. There was another used, a pew pew used, but they are telling us we got him. They're not going to come out and give us all of the information, right? They never do. Even the police, when there is like an unaliving, they're not, and they're looking for the perpetrator. They're not going to come out in public and give us all the details, because that's how they catch the kid, the unalivers, and that's how they can corroborate if witness statements, etc., etc. So there is a method to this, and but I believe that it's all going to come out eventually. It's all going to come out. All, maybe not all, but we'll get clarity. This is what I'm trying to say. We'll get clarity. I just answered that as well. Was she involved? Was she involved with the planning of the pew pewing? That's not what I'm getting. No. She knew though that would happen at some point. Maybe she knew when. I don't know. I'm just sharing with you what I received. Yes. Absolutely. He does. He does see that, and he's very, very grave. Like, I do feel that he's very much at peace because of all the love. You guys, prayers, thoughts really help. Really help. And a lot of people have been praying and have been talking about him in a very positive. All of this helps the soul, really helps the soul be at peace and really feel as well this collective love that they're receiving as well. Come from this side of those around him that day. I'm getting front. I'm getting someone who was sort of like front, not like the front of the line or the crowd, but like center. This is how it's shown to me, center. So yeah, so it seems one came through from that roof, and the one that eventually unalived him came from the crowd, from inside the crowd. It's not just threats. It's not just like threats. A lot of public figures get threats a lot of times. I wish you die. Blah, blah, blah. If they say something wrong, if they're not politically correct, whatever. So they get, but that's not what I'm getting. I'm getting intel, like not receiving things in your mail or in your inbox, but really having intel that something like this might happen. Yeah. The wife may have known, or she was told, I don't know, but I don't believe that she knew how, when, war, what. She just knew that at some point there was going to be the sacrifice, and call it a sacrifice. That from the moment that she married a man, had children with a man, that eventually would be sacrificed and would be unalived for what she believes, I guess, the greater good, or for a greater mission. How does he feel about all the people speaking out badly and then getting canceled and fired? Who do you mean? What people? All the people speaking out badly and then getting, like Candace, like, who got fired from, was it Fox or some kind of like right wing? I'm not sure, but is that what you mean? I'm sorry, I don't really get your question. Maybe rephrase it. Sorry. The only ones I feel bad for are his kids. 100%. 100%. But the only ones that are going to suffer are the kids. Of course, they're going to suffer. The kids. The kids are going to suffer. This happened right in front of their eyes. Even though one's a toddler, and you'd think, oh, he might not remember what happened. Oh no, trust me. Trust me. This is never going to go away. And that's why the son is actually going to do so much work. He's going to try to continue his father, but he's going to be more a lot more aggressive, meaning more, there's going to be a lot more activism, a lot more, mm, he's going to do things differently, not just like his dad. Right. Yes. Oh, this didn't. That's what I'm saying. That the final one, the one that unalived him, is not the one from what I'm shown. It's not the one that unalived him. It's not the one that came from the roof. This is what I'm trying to say. It's the one that came from the crowd that unalived him. Oh, okay. Sorry. Thanks, Tiffany, for clarifying. I meant the people that celebrated his death online and then have gotten outed by others. Then those people have gotten fired and people have gone after their business. It's a mess. They're trying everyone, like, it's, you guys don't see it. It's just a war between right and left and this and that and religion and faith, and it's crazy. Of course he sees all that. Of course he sees all that, but he completed his mission on earth right now. So he's very much around his wife. He knows all this because once you're in the spirit world, you have your map. Your life contract is right in front of you. So you see everything that you agreed on before you entered your physical body and you come onto earth. So he knows all of this, but he still stands by his wife, just so you know. He does. Absolutely. I wouldn't count Charlie as one. No, Charlie wasn't, was he? He wasn't an activist. But when I mean activist, someone who is active in a good or bad way, or exaggerated or not so exaggerated way, trying to sort of like maybe even like impose, if you will, like their beliefs onto others. But I see him becoming more of like, someone who goes to protests and talks in protests and stuff when he's younger, and then ends up becoming a political figure, a political influencer, not figure. I don't think he's going to be aligned with a specific party, but what I am getting is going to be a political influences. That's how I saw it. That's how I heard it. Unfortunately, I don't see things changing anytime soon when it comes to gun control in the USA. Unfortunately, I don't see that. I mean, Christina, there's so many people that are like so disturbed. These are disturbed people who do that. Don't celebrate someone. He didn't harm anyone. You know what I mean? Like there are worse people out there that are actually harming kids and women and other people and animals. Just saying. Oh my God, I forgot about the TMZ. No, instantly. I know they tried to cover their asses by saying it was like some kind of car chase. No, my intuition was saying, nope, they were celebrating about that. The rest is BS. They were celebrating the pew-pewing, the unaliving of Charlie Kirk. And that's abhorrent. That's disgusting. That is not nice. And yeah, just saying. Doesn't matter who he was, what he was, blah, blah, blah. You just don't do that. TMZ is just, to me, lately, the last year, TMZ is just, I mean, it's always been like that, but it's just like now we really see who TMZ is aligning with and who's backing up, who are TMZ sponsors. So, by the way, we will soon start picking up on the Diddy stuff because we have his sentencing hearing soon. I believe they moved it to the 23rd of September, and that's eclipse season. So that's going to be interesting. So we'll see about that as well. TMZ admitted it. Good. Because they tried to, to cover their butts. All right, everybody. I think we have. Okay, so I just want to share with you a couple of downloads that I received while I was on my summer break. And usually that's what happens when I'm in a nice, relaxed state in general, and I'm not too distracted and busy. Downloads. I get those downloads. All right, so I want to refer to Estefania's question. Will Trump be the president his whole term? I think you mentioned you saw it didn't look good for him. No, it doesn't look good for him. As you know, I've been talking about his health way before his health issues became public. Things are a lot worse than they admit. Okay, we know that. I will tell you what I got. And I will insist on this. Back when I did my predict, even last year when I started talking about not Biden's, but Trump's health, I always said, even when he got elected as president, I said I don't see him serving as president longer than 2 years. I don't. I still don't. I don't, and I stand by that. I do believe that let me just tell you what I saw. I saw him in hospital, intubated, tubes, wires, the whole thing. And I could hear Christmas songs. I believe that around Christmas time, Christmas holidays, Trump is going to be incapacitated because of his health. It's going to be serious. And he will no longer be able to run as president of the United States. And his health is getting worse and worse and worse. He's strong, like he's fighting. I've got to say this, he is strong. He is fighting this, so he's not allowing for his health issues to kind of like, make him, he's stubborn. So he's going to keep going, continuing on, because he's also in denial. So he really thinks that he is a demigod and that he can, I don't know, like make it through the next 4 years. But let me just tell you now, whether he's going to be unalived, whether he's going to exit this world or not, it's very weird. There are times where I feel it, that he's gonna exit. He's about to exit, and then there are times where I feel like he's hanging on, and it's not going to happen, and it's not going to happen yet. So I cannot, but I can tell you, because this was clear as day to me, things are going to get worse. He already had a stroke. I felt that while I was on holiday, that he had a stroke back in July, end of June, July, which they covered. Not during the time that everyone said he's MIA. I believe he was being treated for something else at the time, or he was going through some kind, I believe, I kept seeing blood. So I believe that he's getting blood transfusions. Maybe that's just to get, just to boost his health, maybe. But he does get blood transfusions and he does get IVs on a regular basis. But his health won't be able to hold on much longer, because around Christmas, I do see him in a hospital, quite incapacitated. The way I saw it, it doesn't seem that he's going to be, let's say, what's the word I'm looking for? Like connected to his surroundings as well. So that's one that I really wanted to share with you. Listen, it's sad, it's like, I don't like getting these types of downloads, regardless who they are, right? Okay, if I got such a download about, I don't know, let's say Netanyahu, Bibi, I would be like, okay, good, like good. He's so evil. He's done enough evil in the world, so I'm okay with it. But with Trump, it's just like he's a human being. Like him, dislike him, whatever. I've said this before and I'll say it again. He's not evil, like evil. Netanyahu is evil. Erdogan is evil. Putin is evil. A lot of elitists are evil, but he's not. He's a bad guy. He's done bad things, Epstein and other things, but he's not evil, if you know what I mean. So, the other thing, I have bad news. I have bad news for my European femme villagers. I'm very concerned about the future of Europe. I've talked about this many a times in the last couple of years because I see the EU dissolving. I do see the EU is going to dissolve. There's going to be a monopoly, if you will, or an oligarchy of just 2 or 3 countries, all right, who are going to control the banks and or the central bank and control the EU or what's left of the EU. But here's the bad news, and I fear that because eclipses do trigger this type of energy. So bad news for France and England. I see, and I don't want to cause panic, but I see big terrorist attacks in both countries. One I feel is going to happen as early as September, October. Big terrorist attacks. These we're talking about quite. It's going to be devastating in both countries. Not at the same time. Now, whether these are related to terrorist groups or it's related to also because I see in the UK civil unrest is coming. There's going to be a huge social division in the UK, and it's going to get ugly. It actually takes me back to 1982, 83. Back in 83, was it 82? In the 80s when there was the shutting down of the mines, there was a lot of social unrest, a lot of protests, a lot of people were unalived, killed, beaten, all of it. And I see that coming without wanting to be an alarmist, without wanting to causing, but it was one of my downloads. And I see that in France. I said this a couple of years ago that I see that there is a wave of devastations and a wave of incidences coming in the EU that starts and is starting in France. It is starting in France. France has been through it. I think they're on Prime Minister number 6, 7 now. Let's see if that one's going to last. Macron is out the door anyways. He's got his own issues. Macron is destroying the country. I'm sorry. He is. I'm sorry, but it's the truth. He's part of the problem. He is not the problem, but he's a big part of the problem. Another earthquake, by the way. Another earthquake. What is going on? So I see that happening, and it is going to be another snowball effect for the EU, unfortunately, but that's coming. I want to say also with trains, I got this during my holidays, this download, but I keep getting it now a lot. Trains, there are going to be incidents with trains. Also, there's going to be I don't want to confuse you. So I see incidents and accidents with trains. One's going to be in the UK, and the other one was they instantly took me to the Philippines. I believe there are a couple of big things that are brewing in the Philippines, and they are happening, and there will happen. And I'm talking politically as well as I do believe the other train incident that I see is somewhere in Asia, but I cannot tell you for sure where. I was just shown Asia. It's going to be a very big, it's going to be some kind of like explosion on one of these trains as well. So this is going to be quite a big accident. And I see there's also some news coming out of the Netherlands. There is going to be Someone is dying, a young man. I see a young man dying, and it's going to cause all sorts of unrest as well. This young man, though, is part of a big family, maybe even connected to royal blood or aristocracy. So there's a lot coming out with that. Something else that I forgot to mention. Remember at the beginning of the year when I did my yearly predictions and I mentioned about the unaliving of a young celebrity. I said celebrity, young, and everyone's going to be shocked regarding the what happened and why it happened and how it happened. Um Everyone thought I was talking about Justin Bieber. I myself thought I was talking about Justin Bieber because I didn't get who it was. I truly believe I saw the Charlie Kirk. I think it was Charlie Kirk because if you go back, and I do have the clip somewhere, it's someone. I said celebrity, but to me, celebrity is anyone who's famous, who's like a public figure, okay? But some people might think celebrity is only someone who's in the film industry or in the entertainment industry overall. And I believe this is what I saw. I believe this is what I saw. I also thought it was Justin Bieber because the way that I saw like what I received was there is a young man. Charlie's young, was young, 31, young man, a celebrity, someone who has a following. I even said that, someone who has quite a following and who has quite passionate following is going to die. And it's the reasons why they do. Hold on. Let me see. I may have it, the video. Hold on, let me bring it up. I don't want to misquote myself. Wait. I think celebrity. No. Oh no, I don't have it here. I should have had it here. Anyways, I don't have it here. I thought I had it on my computer, but I'll post it on social media. I'll post it on my Instagram and you can see it there. So I believe this is the one. I believe this is the one because when I received this download, it just felt like this is going to create like a whole ripple effect. Like everyone's going to be shocked. I think this is it. I think I predicted Charlie's unaliving because everyone's saying, "Oh, it's Justin Bieber," and me too, because I did readings on Justin Bieber and I could see that he was he is in a dark place, and that he's fallen off the wagon, all of that. So we all presumed, but I think we were all wrong, including myself. It wasn't about Justin Bieber. So yeah. All right. That's it for today, you guys. This was a lot. I can tell you, this was a lot, and it's not fun to do these types of readings. As you all know, they're quite heavy, and yeah. No, I'm not answering. I'm not going to answer that. I'm not going to get myself into any trouble whatsoever. But if you want answers to your questions, I've done a couple, maybe even 3 readings on the Macrons and Candace Owens. You'll find everything on my channel. If you're new here, you can go onto my channel and use the search bar, add in any name, any keyword, anything, and it will bring up videos and readings. I have over 600 videos that I've done. So you have a library of readings and videos to watch. All right, that's it for today, everybody. Don't forget, if you want to book your reading with me, do it now because you'll have to wait a couple of months. I'm sorry, it's always been like this. I always am. Booked out about 2 or 3 months ahead. So if you want to book your reading for your year ahead reading, I highly suggest you do this, especially now towards the end of the year or beginning of the year, because it gives you amazing insight as to what the new year looks like for you on every area in your life. Okay, we look at finances, we look at love, we look at spirituality, we look at month by month health, we look at it all. So it's really good because it gives you a heads up, right, regarding the year ahead. But any other reading that you want to book, you can book it via my website. Everybody, I love you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for making these Sundays amazing. I love these Sunday hangouts. I'm going to be doing a lot more videos on YouTube, but right now I'm busy because I had my summer break. So next couple of weeks, I'm packed, like packed, because I had to add all these readings. But yeah, that's it. What was a rude comment? I made a rude comment? Who was rude? Who was rude? Okay, don't be rude, everybody. And if I was rude, I don't know if I was rude. Just in positive energies, predicting he's passing, can't be helping him. I agree. I wholeheartedly agree. Let's send. Okay, Jesus, thanks. Let's send Justin, Charlie's family, everybody, our thoughts and our prayers. And even you guys, even if you don't like Donald Trump, send him your prayers too, because he needs it. He's not well. Let me tell you, he's not well at all. Okay. I feel like his energy is getting weaker and weaker and weaker. So we don't want anything bad to anyone unless they're bad people. And even then, uh, I'm okay with it. If you've harmed animals, kids, and human beings, I don't care, honestly, what happens. Just being honest. Anyways, everybody, thank you for being here. I'll be talking to you soon. Have a beautiful week. Take care. Protect your energy. If you feel overwhelmed with what's happening out there, switch the damn screens off. Go meditate, go out in nature, listen to music, dance. This is what I do. This is what I do. This is my pick me up, loud music, and I dance around the house. And it does wonders for your psychology, for your mood, and for your energy. Thank you, everybody. Don't forget to hit the like button on your way out. Talk to you soon. Bye. Bye, everybody.